Yeah, we might as well get started.
All right, so I'm going to give you some scenery, and then we'll discuss how you spent your summer vacation.
Oh,
Yes.
a vacation?
Well, kind of. It's a
Okay.
working vacation.
It's
It's
oh.
an old castle. There's always grout and stones to be lugged, and beams to be reinforced. So the last adventure we had was, I want to say, it was probably near the end of June. Your summer passes fairly quietly, taking us into late August. So here's some of the background color. The Goat Mage uh, has been relocated to an anonymous safe house, and Angelica tells her people that he is serving as a Knock Richter consultant, but does not elaborate as to what that is. Um, Bixby and Barnabas
Oh, the knockers. The
have settled into the castle.
oh, oh, we brought them home.
Oh, Blanca brought them back to the castle.
I am
Well,
responsible for that malfeasance.
but it's that was ideal. But I thought he was going to, I guess, his countryside, which was Icenia. I
No,
thought.
he didn't have any love for that country. He wanted to see ours.
Oh,
Yes, he was very excited to experience a new location. You have no idea where his little hole in the wall is. He just shows up at night sometimes with his bulldog. Klaus, the cook, has taken to, since Largatha's gone, putting out little treats for him every night so he can clean tables and scrub up pots and be a helpful little guy. But he's not always helpful. Sometimes he's annoying. Sometimes he gets into liquor stores. Sometimes he gets into Angelica's liquor stores.
oh my.
She and Blanca go at it with verbal jousting about my little friend versus that rat you brought home. And Bixby went to Blanca and begged her to have Bjorn get rid of the two cats.
Oh.
Would would Blanca make that request?
Um,
If that comes up, oh my gosh, would I take a cat with my?
I Yeah, that's a fair question. I think Diamond would come home to Blanca's apartment if the cat will stay. Which, knowing the background of the cat, absolutely.
And Bjorn asks you, Banny, will you take his cat?
I have. It might be a different problem. I don't know exactly how Oksana will interact with a cat. We can try, and we can
Yeah.
and attempt that, but there might be more fun had by Oksana than that cat. You thought it was cowed. Now it's going to be downright.
If it doesn't work, then we find another home for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you're all rather surprised at how compliant Bjorn is. You've noticed that through the summer he's become quieter, more introspective. He snatched a great axe off the wall of the castle, spent some time with it with Isaac to replace the one that he left behind. But he spends increasingly more time in the forest. There have been bear sightings out there where there were none before. Um, and when he's in the castle, he's either brooding somewhere or he is physically training, both with the axe and dressing in full armor, full pack, full weaponry, and doing endless pull ups and push ups and wind sprints. And essentially, he's getting ready for ninth level when that happens. But the quiet and introspective He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't want to discuss it, but he does seem a bit more serious minded than he was before. And when he's in the mess hall, he always positions himself so he can see the 3 oil paintings on the wall of your fallen colleagues. Banny, you get love letters and updates from Oksana. She tells you that she's being treated like royalty. They're teaching her a lot. They're always very respectful of her. She really enjoys Londinium and Icenia as a whole. She tells you about little field trips that they go on. She's seen so many different tourist sites, but her loins ache for you. That one stopover just wasn't enough. Do you want to take time out during the summer and visit Londinium?
So, I don't know if you read it, but Banny wanted to renegotiate his terms with Nacht Richter, putting himself more as a contractor status, giving him a little bit longer of a leash. That would allow for him to go and visit her more readily.
So Angelica will absolutely call you to the office, tell you to sit down, pours 2 short scotches, hands you one, and taps the paper that's on her table. What's this?
This is my way of giving a little bit of space between me and this organization.
Why?
We've been run ragged. This doesn't exclude me anything from any objectives or missions, but it takes me off the payroll. Maybe you can find somebody else who can kind of step into these places. I have enough funds at this point.
She takes a sip of her scotch and says, I'm not sure you've been paying attention to current events, but I'm running a little short of senior agents.
You still have a senior agent in me.
So what is it that you want, Benny? Specifically,
we all watch as friends die in these places.
Hello.
Sorry for lateness. Never have appointments right before.
That's right. It's still a human time now by you guys.
Yeah.
Out here, the sun.
Yeah.
The sun is gone. It's gone.
Are
you looking to not be on call as much?
Let's just say that I have a lot more to live for than I used to. And I feel like taking more of a training role and doing contract work in general, but also diving into the things that I loved, because I've had a lot of travel experience now. And, why not another book, right? Keep up appearances.
So do you want to be a contractor? Do you want to be a part-time agent? Do you need time off?
A part-time agent sounds ideal. I just need some air gap between me and this place. Maybe it's a time to mourn. Maybe it's something where I don't feel like I have a stranglehold on me. I just need a little space. Maybe this relationship's gotten a little too far, if you know what I mean.
Which relationship? Your relationship with Nacht Richter?
Maybe. Yes, we'll say that. You've seen everybody change a little bit over time. You've seen Bjorn. I've seen him too. He's more sober. You've seen Blanca. Also the same. We've all run into a little something. And it's not that I want to exclude myself, and it's not that I want to deprive knocked Richter of any resources, but I need a little. I need a little leash. I need to see my wife. I need to kind of find myself, I guess you could say.
And you do remember seeing me in a dress uniform handing a flag to family members, right? You do remember who sent those people into harm's way.
I know that you carry a burden too.
If you need time off, you can have time off. If you want to be a contractor, you can be a contractor. We'll do the paperwork. Who are you going to recommend as team leader when you leave?
Blanca's a good choice. She has the respect of the team, and honestly, I will willingly follow her into combat, do anything. As a contractor, absolutely.
So do you want to be a contractor? Or do you want to resign your position as a senior agent and have me reach out to you if and when you're needed?
Oh, isn't that what a contractor is?
It's exactly what a contractor is. Unfortunately, contractors miss out on this: the shelter, the resources, the intel. We call them up when we need takeout food and nothing more.
If you feel that's appropriate.
You came to me.
Yeah.
If you want to be a contractor, try it.
I will try it. If I will be deprived of intel, I'll get the intel on the job. If they come
Not
recommended,
so much being deprived, Ben. It's that you're not around to hear it.
Maybe I need that space too.
Do you need to take the summer off? Things are extremely quiet. This is a great time to do it.
Yeah. You don't have to keep me on the payroll for it. I'll take my time. Call me up when you need me.
That's how it works with contractors.
Exactly.
You're official. I'll do the paperwork today.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
Not here.
Boy, she does not look happy.
Walk out the door. Yeah.
Everybody over the summer receives reports that Echelon has been extremely quiet. Reports coming in from your friends in Icenia, contacts down in Montanica. The Echelon organization is, for lack of a better word, probably reconstituting after the beating that they took.
Snip, snip.
Clovia's war with Visigonia winds down throughout the summer, and by August, it turns into an army of occupation. The Visigoth government is in exile in Montanica, but all of their former lands are controlled by Clovia. There is a very uncoordinated and sporadic partisan attempt going on down in those lands. A lot of it's surrounding Bordeaux, and it's mostly the occasional bombing, the abduction of a Clovian soldier and finding him headless someplace, an occasional sniper. Unfortunately, the Clovians are taking their frustration out on the civilian population, which is absolutely their MO. But the rest of Europa seems rather pleased that the combat is over, and it looks like that's where Clovia has decided to stop. There are a few voices out there saying this was just the appetizer. If you think that they're just going to be satisfied with Visigonia, you're insane. But at this point in European history, there's a lot of it's not my problem. That's a regional issue. We're still licking our wounds from the Great War. We don't want to get drawn into something. So a lot of looking the other way and not noticing the atrocities. Also, over the summer, there is the Hindenburg disaster in Lakehurst, Vinlandia. There are 36 deaths, which is small potatoes compared to warfare, but it sends shockwaves through the world that this vaunted airship, which should have been indestructible, was quite destructible.
Sir, is there any details on how that happened?
They're exploring it right now. You did know that in terms of its intercontinental airships, Clovia was still using hydrogen, and Hindenburg had not yet converted over to blue gas. So, of course, it's all being blamed on, for the most part, it's being blamed on Vinlandia, who had the market cornered on blue gas and was running an embargo because of the warfare down in Visigonia. So that just gave them a perfect whipping boy to blame all their problems on, which, as you've seen and as the summer unfolds, is absolutely the rhetoric coming out of Clovia. All these problems are always somebody else's fault, whether that's a foreign country or ethnic groups within Clovia. And it's getting a little uncomfortable. Danny, you remember being on a mission to Paris with Bjorn and Angelica and seeing the visuals of the trident everywhere and watching people be uncomfortable about talking in cafes and feeling like you're always being watched. So that continues to ratchet up, and there's just as much political propaganda on the radio as there is regular news and music. There is also growing development in the aeroplane. Icenia, Burgundia, Clovia, and the Kurg Union are all hard at work trying to master this science. It's unknown whether it's pure science, magic, or a blend of both. You've all had a little bit of contact with it and realized that it's not necessarily magic or science, that there's a interdimensional issue that nobody's talking about, but you know that Clovia was experimenting with that. So far, nobody has caught the brass ring on this, and although they perish like mayflies, pilots of all nations are considered heroic figures, especially in the propaganda-driven Kurd Union. You would think these people walked on water right over to the airplane before it crashed, and when it did, they floated straight up to a heaven that didn't exist on angelic wings. So there is very little to do in the field. There's an occasional mission. Some of the newer groups are out on assignments. The B group, so to speak, is out on assignments from time to time. But considering everything you guys went through, Angelica is, number one, keeping you close to home. Number two, just really hasn't had much to send you out on. So the work that you do is really a lot of administrative, a lot of training, a lot of housekeeping, but you have a ridiculous amount of free time. And when we combine that with ready alcohol and firearms, sometimes it makes for some interesting evenings. But for the most part, everybody behaves themselves. Danny, how are you going to spend your summer? Are you going to go to Icenia?
I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to do some Icenia, and I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do another travel log.
Awesome. Blanca, plans for the summer?
A little remodeling of the apartment. I find Robin's sketchbook, and there's a image she drew of us out of memory from the fairgrounds while we were there.
Right.
I get that framed and hang it in the front parlor, but I turn her room into a library.
Nice.
It's going to the castle is less frequent. But being at the apartment is hard too. I don't want to be around the people at the castle just because I'm not ready to re-engage yet, but trying to figure out a way to say farewell to my friend, sister, and roommate occupies a lot of that time. Travel factors in, getting some distance, time in the Alps, down to Genf, just kind of sightseeing and solo travel, spending budget. She does buy a car over the summer.
Nice.
So she's never had before, and finds it to be a bit of a burden because parking is still a bitch. She doesn't have a garage, so it gets parked in a little roundabout out front and fights over the spot. Going through the spellcraft book, she's working on her neighbors to make sure nobody ever parks in her spot.
You don't want to park there.
It's a use of being a wizard if you can't find parking.
Exactly.
Put UN tags, then you can park anywhere.
Do my best to track down. Well, I recognize that there are troubles getting into Clovia, but the last will and testament that I found of Robin's has me directed to get some personal effects to her sister if possible. So as part of my travels, if I can manage it, I will try to get into Clovia and make that delivery. I did get enough information to recognize what city Marianne lives in. Whether that was too risky, I would ask for permission from the commander in this case, not mom.
She's very reluctant to have you go into Clovia right now.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm not going to forbid it. And as of right now, the border is still open. It's tighter and tighter. Your best bet is to come in through Alemania and stay away from Paris. And please call every day, not because I'm going to mother you, but because I want to know if I need to send your friends to go get you.
Work on a long-term disguise, follow her advice for ingress, and I will make the attempt if I can find Marianne and her husband.
So I guess one thing I'd want to ask about is because Papa, the pistol, was taken.
Well, so
just other personal effects.
Stuff fell on the ground. He grabbed a body, not everything that fell out. So
okay, I like that for story. Yeah.
So yeah, returning Papa, and I think there was
she has a necklace pendant that was the Herald one.
Blanca, roll a percentage.
And now the mission is rescue Blanca.
8.
8.
High flying.
Do you want to use a midsummer hero point that won't affect
your whole session?
Your adventure?
You're saying my initial searching doesn't render much. Yeah, I'll be persistent.
Well, that's probably because she's not hanging out in upscale shoe stores, hair salons, the ballet.
How's an 88?
88. You do locate her. It's not till early August, but you do find her. She is deeply saddened by the loss of her sister, but conflicted, because if I understand, you two hadn't seen each other in forever. So she was learning how to get by without you, and then she saw you. She was happy that she got to tell you that she was married or getting married,
With
And
child.
expecting.
and expecting. This is what, 3 months later?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, baby's still not here, but showing significantly. She's very happy to get back the necklace. The pistols, she says that she'll tuck away in a box because she's nervous, and she rubs her belly while she says that. And it looks like it's hard for her to know how to feel about it just because of the nature of the relationship. But it looks like she's more sad that she'll never get the chance to get to know her.
I will have put together a small portfolio of her artwork. None of the disturbing stuff that she drew about the middle Welkin. More,
That's good call. Good call.
Because she's going to show it to the baby.
yeah. Things that I imagine as
Mama,
a daughter
I
of,
lifted.
as the daughter of parents that were a little distracted. I want something that feels nurturing, so I'll groom that stuff. Make a little
The sketch of
portfolio.
Diamond and horses and
Yeah.
look, this is Gumph on a night or something. Yeah.
So
Hand
you
that
actually
over.
enjoy your time with her, and pry open your purse or work your eldritch powers to treat her and her husband quite well. Still keeping a low profile and always looking over your shoulder. These two are civilians. They don't notice your wariness. But by the time you part company, you feel like you've done right by Robin.
I'll close that chapter. I hope I never see these people again.
Yeah.
Nor in
There's
the
a little too
obituary.
much family resemblance.
Yeah, I think just the idea that I'm finishing that journey for Robin is enough, and I'm more her sister than her sister, and I'm not going to share that.
Right. Yep. And she's got her own life that she's moving on with, and you can't get away from Robin. She's either a visible presence around you in your home or the castle, or she's with you in your memories.
Well, I debated selling the apartment and moving, but that felt like a dishonor to the memory. So living with the pain is probably a better way to move forward than running away from it.
You know, it's funny you should say that. Every time I'm scrolling through my contact list, thinking I need to clean it up, and I start seeing people that aren't with us anymore, like Dave, my brother. Like, I'll never call them, and God forbid that their number comes up calling me. But it feels almost like putting them away if I delete the contact. So I don't.
Yeah, Dave's still on my favorites in my phone.
Well, every once in a while, Louis pops up on Facebook. People you may know. Stop it. Jojo, your summer passes fairly quietly as well. You see that the Banny Blanca Bjorn team is not quite as swaggering as they were before they went to Icenia Sud. You naturally get word through the gossip mill pretty much how everything went, although they're reluctant to talk about it. But it
I
looks
bet I
like
have a couple conversations with Blanca and Bonnie.
Yeah, looks like they took a beating, and not just to the team physically, but to their maybe self-confidence, certainly their swagger.
I understand that. I mean, we've all had our missions that went that way.
Yeah.
Blanca was on both.
That's true.
We have a common denominator. No.
What do you want to do with your summer, Jojo?
This is so far ahead of where JoJo is. I don't have an answer for you.
Okay. Then,
but if he had nothing going on, he probably spent much of his time in Bern, catching up with roommates that he's been an absentee roommate over the last year,
Right.
Last time he had a long break, he kind of made the boxing circuits, so he might try to find some fights here and there.
You can probably find some little underground spots here and there. Your friends are happy to take you out drinking. I mean, boxing, drink boxing.
Drink
you
boxing.
actually,
That's about how half of it goes.
so you actually have a rather restful, relaxing summer. It almost feels like a summer vacation to you. Nobody's calling upon you to saddle up or put on your game face, and you find yourself really enjoying the idea that you can take a deep breath and relax in a pub with friends and chit chat till 3 a.m. and nobody's going to jump you in an alley, or you don't have to drag anybody out of anything.
It's a nice change of pace.
It's a definite change of pace. Morik. Yeah, scruffy little football thug.
Yeah.
Is it Merrick or Morik? Is it Merrick?
Mark.
It's Mark.
Morik. Okay.
Mark. Only my mom calls me Mark.
All right, Forrest. What are you doing with your summer?
Well, after I probably did a drop off of some of Robin's things to the castle, I probably went back to Genf again, and I probably did some underground fighting too. Just, especially since things got quiet. Then there's like not even a call in on a job or anything.
Yeah, it almost feels like being a civilian. And you're new enough and young enough that you had only started getting used to going on missions, and then you hit this weird lull. Everybody else that you know that's on the teams are just delighted, and every day that goes by that there's not a mission, they just grin from ear to ear. Over the course of the summer, you do see some of the folks beginning to relax and loosen up. The survivors from Icinius Sud. Bjorn is still frequently gone. He spends a lot of time in the forest and always comes back with pine needles in his hair, reeking of musk. But Blanca begins to relax. Banny shows his face on occasion. He seems much more relaxed.
He got some at some point.
Yeah. Well, and Oksana was also given her own little summer vacation and got to come home to Burgundia for 2 weeks. So the two of you were absolutely hard to find. Ordered every oyster in northern Burgundia and stayed indoors the whole time. Eventually, she traveled back to, is it Oxford? Is that where we've got her?
It's not Cambridge, right? Or is it Cambridge
Or is
or
it
Oxford?
Cambridge?
Keith, you're going to have to be the one to answer.
Cambridge.
Oxbridge.
Kingford. This place is on fire.
It's during one of your lulls, and Danny is actually in town. He came off of his sabbatical with Oksana. She headed home, and since he's been out of contact, he's at the castle to kind of reacquaint himself with folks. And it's during this time when you're all in the castle that Angelica sends Isaac around to collect everyone and ask them to come to the mess hall.
I follow the leader.
Aren't you the leader?
Joe, you and Morik are also tapped for this, and it's a little strange for the four of you who have not done a lot of working together to be seated around the same table. You see that Bjorn is not here with the group, and Angelica doesn't ask where he is.
A nod to Jojo. Like, maybe we even saw each other kind of on an underground circuit or something. Hey.
There's a fair chance of that. If we did, we probably talked each other into following each other around a little bit.
I think so.
Angelica,
I might
the
remember
whole-
one night.
Blanca, the whole thing feels very familiar, like returning from your summer break, going back to school and reacquainting yourself with friends, or discovering people are gone and not coming back to school. It's a little bit of deja vu for you. Angelica actually sits on the end of the table, looking very casual, a little different than normal.
Did you say we're in her office or in the Commons or where?
The Commons.
Okay.
She says, back to work, so to speak. Shouldn't be any real heavy lifting. This is more of a looking in on friends type of thing. Have any of you heard of the Euclidean Research Society? If not, there's no reason you really should have. In 1802, a man named Silas Brand founded the Frankfurt Institute in Alemannia. And initially, it was done to debunk claims of the supernatural and expose frauds for profit, such as bogus seances, bogus crystal balls, complete fiction and fortune telling. But in time, the Frankfurt Institute evolved into more paranormal investigation and research. Now, in 1840, the Institute burned to the ground with Silas Brand inside, and supposedly all the records were lost. Now, generations passed until two grandchildren of the founder, F. Scott Hudson and Victor Brand, they started a new organization in 1901 that they called the ERS, which is the Euclidean Research Society. Now, Euclidia was a Greek mathematician who really created a lot of speculative higher level geometry. I don't pretend to know anything about it. But the Euclideans, or the society, believes that mathematics is the key to unlocking magic and the next realm. I'm not certain that I buy into that. But their organization focuses on the occult, supernatural, and mysticism. They're located in Zurich. It's only about an hour drive from here. I think it's an hour drive. And their organization is less paramilitary and more investigative. In fact, some knock-Richter candidates who can't endure our training end up there. We feed them information based on some of the things that you folks have uncovered. And more than a few times, you've been sent out on missions acting on information that they've developed. Now, I didn't tell you about these people before because, and specifically because of you, Banny, I did it for selfish reasons. I didn't want to lose any of you to a slower paced investigative function, which I knew would appeal to you, Mr. Elkind. And quite honestly, I couldn't afford the loss of manpower, nor can I now. However, I've given up trying to control your destinies. You will go where you will. But Victor Brand sent us a telegram that we just received today. And I'll read it to you. A door has opened. Stop. Potentially dangerous. Stop. Investigator missing. Stop. May be more than we can handle. Stop. Please send assistance. Stop. That's the entire telegram. What I would like you folks to do is take what you need to investigate, report on your findings, and render what assistance you can. I wish we had more information. We've tried to call. There's no answer at their offices. She hands over a sheet of paper. This is their address in Zurich. These are friends, and we need all the friends we can get. Take one of the vehicles, take the electric delivery truck, Bjorn's cab, anything but my car. Maybe Blanca will be happy to drive you with her new toy.
So,
But I feel that time is of the essence on this.
a door has opened. Well, it sounds terrifyingly
Familiar?
familiar. Yeah.
And
Now,
I think probably that's why they sent the telegram to us rather than contacting the police.
so the thing is, you think that I would go to a less, a slower paced job or something along those lines, but they don't have guns, do they? They don't really use guns.
Well, they do on occasion, but
Okay.
they're not trained marksmen. They're not trained killers. They're investigators who find themselves sometimes in some tense situations. But combatants, not particularly. Brilliant, without a doubt. Both Brand and Hudson, when they start talking about some of the concepts that drive their organization, I check out within the first 30 seconds because I can't keep up. They've done some amazing research, and although I haven't been to their offices, I'm told they have an incredible collection. I'm just not sure what that means.
Seems like we need a few pictures then.
Feel free to take a camera and gather any intel that might help fatten up our files. Any questions?
Is Benny back, or is he still on?
No,
off the book?
he's there with you.
I'm asking you, Commander.
What's that?
I'm asking you, Commander. Is he on the books or is he a contractor?
Danny is a contractor. You'll be mission lead.
Really, Danny?
Hey, you got JoJo. Maybe he can be mission lead.
She says, JoJo had a nice, soft summer. I think he needs to get back into his fighting weight, so to speak.
We'll let him get his edge back before we thrust him into command. Is that right, JoJo?
I mean, I just don't want to be over too many people.
Well, as always, I expect the four of you to take care of each other. And again, you're going into, I don't know what maybe there's something wrong with the phone line, maybe something perfectly explainable, but I've never gotten a telegram like this from Hudson and Brand ever before. And they do rub elbows with some pretty unusual things. So make sure you're prepared as much as you can be. You may want to bring a tessimeter. Bjorn will not be joining you.
Where's Bjorn?
Spends a lot of time in the forest.
Oh,
He says
that's
he's
a long
training.
tea break.
He shows up on occasion to train here at the castle. But there have been bear sightings in the forest around the castle.
Oh, we'll see if there's any bear cubs that result.
From everything you've told me, he only turns into a bear when he's enraged about something, so maybe he's working something out.
I'll do it in our own ways.
Better that he do it in the forest than in the commons. Or a local bar.
Yeah. I do not know what that would look like.
We're just going to Zurich. We'll be fine without him.
It's an hour. It's a day trip, maybe. Get what you need from the quartermaster. Tell me if there's anything else special that you require. Danny, you'll still be at the pay rate of a senior agent during your contract.
That works. Thank you, Commander.
Let's meet in the comma or meet in the. I guess we're in the commons.
She leaves.
We're here. So I should go and get my gun? Is that what you guys got?
If you're gonna wait for instructions to do everything, this isn't gonna work. Go get your shit and get your game face on. I need a senior agent who has the ability to act on his own.
You have a senior agent right over there. See that? There's Jojo. I'm kidding. I'm here, Blanca. I'm here.
This is why summers off don't work.
So
Mark, good to see you again. Jojo, welcome. I know you and Benny have got a pretty solid history together. Mark, haven't worked with you.
This contract situation's a little new though, Bonnie. A little surprised by that.
Oh, don't worry. Things are just fine.
All right. Just
he's a family man now, or at least he wants to be. So we've got to give him a little extra rope.
Oh, so
to
we
hang
were talking
himself?
about bear cubs.
We all said it at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm definitely got the least experience, so I'll just try to follow the lead best. I can carry heavy things, so camera and everything you need.
Cut the bullshit, Mark.
I've been on pretty much, other than underground fighting, just a little bit of watching here and there, given a job to look at something around in Genf, and not really a mission yet. Not much.
If the commander's introduction is on point, perhaps it'll just stay more reconnaissance and no bludgeoning or brutality will be necessary. But if it comes up, I'm going to point to you first and maybe Jojo alongside, because I know you guys like a little bit of blood sport.
Didn't you make that happen last time?
Let's not bring that up right now. Although if a rematch is in order, we don't have an emergency meeting with anybody in Zurich.
We already had another good bout. It was good. He's gotten so damn fast. Hard.
It's bob and weave, baby. Bob and weave.
I'll get a billy club and camera. And what else should I get a tessimeter too?
Yeah, tessimeter. We'll get a camera. Make sure we've got a couple of rolls of spectrolitho. We're acting in a domestic mission here, so let's not bring any Bjorn level firepower.
Can we have a discussion on what this door open means?
Yeah, I would like to hear what you guys think from that information. Clearly,
the last door I saw open was the Kurg's foray into the Middle Welkin. That could be described as a door.
Well, I saw the report on that. I'm still a little mystified as to what happened there. You had an entire ship trapped between the material plane and the Middle Welkin?
They were forcing a door open, and a physical object kept it open. The physical object being a ship.
What? Wow.
So you can preserve the opening of a portal if the object in the portal is large enough?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm talking, a large ship connected to a network of shipping containers that they'd placed inside the Middle Welkin.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. And you said something about suits they were wearing. What was that about?
They didn't know that you don't need to breathe air in the Welkin, so they had atmospheric suits, oxygen tanks, full shebang. Looked like they were a bunch of deep sea divers up there. Nobody thought to lift the.
Wow.
Not once. They almost attacked us when we broke the air seal on their shipping container unit to leave with them. But my point being is that the last door I saw being opened was to the middle Welkin. Do you want to take any other precautions?
Isaac has drops, things like that, right?
So we can get greater visibility. Yeah. What are those called? The
Uh,
Let me check my field manual.
is it in the
we
field
can definitely
manual?
do that. Anyway, yeah. So anything we can take that's related to the middle Welkin, I think, is appropriate and absolutely merits bringing along.
So but that does include. We should get a camera with Spectre Litho.
Obviously, yeah.
Everybody gets a Chiron bar because, I'm all the rage for chocolate.
Yeah.
If
that's not cheating in this case. Okay.
If we have one available to us, which I assume we do, but we'll have to check with the quartermaster. One of the vests can be a lightsaber saver if we get trapped over. Is at least one person can get back and then get help.
Jojo, will you check and see if we have extra stuff? Who's in charge of that now? Is that Isaac?
Last I checked, yeah.
Okay. See if he's got an extra vest and make sure we get as many charges as possible.
All right.
You are bringing vests for the middle Welkin?
At least one, if they're available.
You can get one.
Full charges on that thing?
How many charges does it hold?
I want to say 8. So either 5 or 8. But that's like how many rounds it'll last, basically.
Call it 8.
Okay.
He says you're going to the middle Welkin?
Just better safe than sorry, Isaac.
Will you bring photographs?
I'll do you have a
camera.
spare camera? I know Mark already picked one up, but if you have a spare, I'll throw it in my duffel.
Roll a percentage.
$17.
All I have is the large box camera on the tripod.
Oh, I'm gonna travel a little lighter than that. If we're there, we'll probably all be there, and I'll make sure Mark gets some
Take
good
pictures,
shots
bring
for
back
us.
samples, a live sample if possible.
What, the last one I brought you wasn't good enough?
You can't build a compendium based on one sample.
Fair enough. All right, I'll do what I can.
Does the rest of the crew know that the other team brought back what the other team brought back from the middle Welkin?
I'm assuming no, because that mission's still, we're on the tail end of that mission, so I don't think it's been shared anywhere.
They brought back 2 Welkinauts from the middle Welkin and some Blue 46, highly refined, and 2 Arcaga.
Mm-hmm.
No
nice.
kidding.
And we also know how blue gas is manufactured.
Cool.
Ow.
It's
Disturbing.
a little bit.
From the void demon. No, from what?
No, they harvest spirits.
Ooh.
Like ghosts, and refine their essence down, but only enough that it just drains the spirit and then it can reform. So they're basically an unending source of blue gas if they do it right.
Oh.
Or at least that is one way to do it. We don't know if that's the way that the main source does it, but the Keurigs have reverse engineered it to that point.
Wait, and there's a whole lot of blue gas production we're saying in Vinland? Is that what John just said?
It's primarily in
Alemania, right?
Alemania, yeah. But almost guaranteed the Keurigs are spinning up resources to start manufacturing blue gas. The facility we were investigating was purposely put outside the KU in case something went wrong. And so they were doing lots of tests there.
Right.
Coincidentally, most of the production facilities for blue gas are located near old war sites or cemeteries.
Just available Death.
Yeah.
Memories.
Oh, the plague. Lovely.
Yeah.
Are you properly equipped?
Yeah. Do they have like also like a billy club kind of a thing? Right. I'm gonna assume I got that on the
Like a truncheon or something.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're probably brawling mastery, so you're gonna want to use your fists.
Yeah.
Do you
I
want
mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. It's a D6 instead of a D4 if I had to use a club.
do you
Yeah,
want
but
the
you don't get weapon mastery with it.
Oh. Oh. Well, I'm only level 8. I don't think I have mastery. I just
You
have
get
to
mastery at like 6.
Okay. It is what it is. I'm
Try to
I
say,
give you a
stick with your
strap if
fists.
you wish. It's leather wrapped, lead loaded.
Guess.
The policeman carry it.
Right. Sure.
He gives you a sap.
Thanks. I might wedge a door open or something.
When,
Not a sandbag.
Just always wanted
But
to
you need
carry
a
one.
ship to block open the door. No.
What I didn't really get a timetable on this, but I'm guessing urgency is going to play to us. We got to get there as soon as possible. What time of day is it?
Right now it's noon. You got about an hour drive to get to Zurich.
Yeah. Do we want transportation when we get there? How many's on this? 1, 2. There's 5 of us.
Wait.
4 of us.
did you
Four.
want to take a train or did you want to take a vehicle?
Mine's only a 2-seater, so we'll have to pull something from the
This electric van. No?
motor pool.
I don't
It's an
even know where
Electric van.
we
got
need to figure out a
Bjorn's
place to charge
cab.
it. Yeah, the cab sounds good. Electric van sounds amazing if we know it'll go that far. And I don't know if it'll go that far.
That just reminds me of
Experience.
Bordeaux and the whole.
You haven't seen Bjorn drive the cab all summer. Thing's filthy. Just sitting there, covered in bird shit.
Probably take a.
Who's our best driver?
I can drive.
I can drive.
I am pretty fair at it. 12.
Yeah. What's everybody's drive skill?
12.
11.
What about you,
Jojo doesn't
Blanca?
volunteer anything. He just smiles slightly.
Even out of character, won't tell you.
He doesn't want to be anybody's chauffeur.
I can drive.
Yeah. Okay. Marek, you're driving.
Okay.
We'll take the cab.
Opens the door for whoever's going to get in the front passenger seat.
Jojo, I think you're shotgun.
I pat my rev jack. You know what?
Shotgun.
You know, it's been a while, Jojo. It's been a while.
It's been a minute. It's good to see you.
You too. Pile into the back with Benny.
Oh, I brought some sandwiches. Do you want a sandwich?
Really? Oh my god.
And one up here.
Yeah.
Mark and I will split one.
I made enough.
Mora keeps 3. He's a big boy.
Paper wrap sandwiches.
Grab Benny's left hand and look at his ring finger.
It's there.
It's a little bit much.
What?
Go ahead, Mark, to get us out of here before we all end up at some kind of family reunion.
Sandwich in mouth drives.
It's a very easy, pleasant drive. The hour passes very quickly. You're all familiar with Zurich. The address that you need is on Soho Strasse. and it's one of the. It's not a main boulevard, but it's only a block off the main boulevard. I sent you all an illustration of what the place looks like from the outside.
Oh, cool.
You've got regular pedestrian traffic out on the street or out on the sidewalk. Automobile traffic is still fairly light in Zurich. This is not it's mostly a residential area. You might have a little cafe or a deli sprinkled here and there, maybe a chemist, but mostly it looks like it's residential.
Jojo, you were on a pretty lengthy mission in Zurich some time ago. How familiar are you with the streets and the vicinity?
Just spots here and there. Do we have anybody on this mission that's from Zurich? Because they'd be much better than I would. I mean, I've visited, and like you said, I've had the one stint here, but it's not enough to really know the city.
I've spent a fair amount of time in here, but it was all chauffeurs and luncheons and yachts. I don't know the back streets and so forth.
Yeah, agreed. Same. Mark,
There's
are you
a bike
from? Oh, okay.
No, I'm
Basel,
from
right?
closer to Almania. I'm from not there.
Well, let's do a drive-by on this location and get a sense of the neighborhood. I mean, shit, this is our country, damn it. I hate to skulk around and not just go indirect, but let's circle the block.
Due diligence. I like it, boss.
You circle the block. Everybody roll a perception, please.
I lost my tires.
I am going to pull out the tessimeter. 29. As leaning up against that wall, against that doorway, see if, or against the side of the cab, and click it off to see if it fluctuates at all as we drive around it.
Your tessimeter remains in the green. Did anybody roll 28 or higher? Okay. The two of you, probably on the same side, notice that the people out on the street, I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's midday. You've got people that are either heading off to a later lunch or coming back from lunch. A lot of business people, a lot of housefraus with small carts of groceries, kids, newspaper vendor. It all looks very, I'm not sure I pronounce this word correctly, bucolic. Is that the way you pronounce that word?
I thought it was bucolic.
Bucolic?
What does that word mean?
Now I need translation.
Bland,
Bland,
mundane,
okay.
Peaceful, quiet.
Milquetoast.
It looks just like a normal Burgundian city. But the two of you notice something that just jumps out at you. And the other two probably would have noticed it too, but they were looking in another direction. You see that directly across the street from Hudson and Brand, there is a man standing on the sidewalk in, it looks like a black suit, a black overcoat, a black fedora with an umbrella open, also black. There's no rain. It's just a sunny day. He looks very tall, very gaunt, and he is staring at the building as you drive past.
If there's a bad guy in the movie, then that's the guy.
Yeah. I tap Blanca on the side of the leg and I point him out and I say, "Can you get a beat on him?"
I probably noticed that Marek is not watching the road ahead. Just as Banny goes to interrupt me, I'll say, "Eyes on the road," and then because we're a little bit of weave going on, I'm like, what?
Over back there. We're
If he's
passing him.
pointed out, you can see him as the car drives away from him. You can see him out the back window.
Snap that direction, bring up the folding camera I have, and see if I can get a picture before we get out of range.
Okay. Roll a percentage.
64.
Just remember that when you get your pictures developed, the first one you took is going to be a blur.
Always.
Not like he's blurry and everything else
Right.
isn't. Like,
Yeah. That's a flashback, John.
Just like a picture of the window.
yeah, with Sasquatch maybe in the background.
Yeah. He's just walking.
Blinded.
Does that look odd to anyone else?
That's the bad guy. What?
Oh yeah. All black. He's got an umbrella. I mean, there's shade, but this guy's doesn't look like he's very concerned about being in direct sunlight.
Mark, let's get a place to park, maybe a block from here, and let's approach on foot.
Do you want to park on the same street or down a side street?
Let's break a line of sight.
Right. I'm going to make the turn around the block and find a place to pull to the side, blocked by building from Man in Black and Black and Black.
There's plenty of parking.
I'm guessing I'm sitting behind Mark because his seat's all the way back and it doesn't impinge on my leg.
I don't know. Manny doesn't have really long legs. It's all good.
Hey, I have extremely long legs.
He's showing a little leg right now, actually.
For a corgi.
For a corgi.
You're a tall corgi.
Get out quickly and figure out where we should go.
All right. I think, Mark, you were the one who suggested I pay a little closer attention to him. I've got to get a little closer to do a detect magic. I don't know that that's going to reveal much.
How far away from, consider that you're in a grid of streets. How far away from Hudson and Brand do you want it to be?
How big is a block?
Yeah, I would say let's just turn the corner. Park.
It's a standard
Eighth of a mile.
block. Do you want it in feet, inches? I don't know.
Eighth of a mile.
Foot
Hey,
inches.
you asked me a question. I asked a question back.
An eighth of a mile on each side.
So we're an extra half of that around the side.
Well,
So Hudson and Brand sits on a corner. Do you
perfect.
want
Okay.
to be on the side street, or because the guy was standing looking
Across.
at the front of the building?
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's a 4-story building.
Oh.
I say we take a right and we park immediately, and then we walk down that street.
What Banny said. We're going to break into 2 teams as soon as we park. Jojo, you're with me, and Marek and Banny. I want you guys on the opposite side of the street, and we're going to double back around.
Hey, how about this? In that same vein, what if me and Marek walked into the place?
I'm going to be on the same side of the street as the man we saw with the umbrella.
Yes.
You guys can be on the side of the house.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
Make it so.
yeah, you're watching him as we attempt to walk in, maybe if the door is open, maybe if it's shut, but watch him to see how he interacts or reacts. Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay. Look at Jojo. What are you wearing, Jojo?
He's just got his street clothes on. It's too hot, middle of the summer, so he doesn't have his jacket on. So he's just wearing a light collared shirt, unbuttoned, slacks.
All right, we'll work on your wardrobe later. Let's go.
Not everybody needs to be like super pretty, okay?
He's underselling the goods. That's all I'm saying.
I sell the goods just
shirt?
fine.
He needs a tighter shirt then. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. It's the upper body.
I can undo an extra button or two.
My buttons keep breaking off.
Stop it. You're on mission here. Focus.
All right.
Team lead.
You're fired.
Already did that.
He looks around. What?
Standing behind block, I do a very over-exaggerated salute for everybody else.
Let me resist. Nope.
Whew. Okay, game face.
cup JoJo's inner elbow and follow a half step behind as a proper partner would.
Jojo takes the lead and starts leading the way up the block.
I reach over to Mark and I cup his elbow. Sorry. Just...
It is Zurich.
We're not in Clovia. What?
You go. I'll be behind you.
I think a bit more like kind of like your bodyguard. Maybe you're in front.
I don't need a bodyguard, especially.
You're better dressed than me too, so maybe I'm just like, here to help you.
Oh, we're just walking casually. How about we just walk together? Is that
Casually together, okay.
Yeah. Just don't
bros.
touch me. Don't touch me. Don't. Yeah,
No.
Bros.
Right.
As it goes.
Have you finished your book?
I have it going through the edit process right now. Editing takes a while. A few different readers have to go through it too. We'll get it done. My old publisher welcomed me back with open arms, so.
That's good. Well, you when you get it written, I'd like to get a copy.
Oh, I will give signed copies to everybody who cares at the castle. But, sentimental reasons, you'll get one. It'll be fine.
Thanks.
You've been working out, JoJo.
Had to stay busy this summer somehow.
Yeah, bruises are almost faded.
Got one on my left ribs. It's a little tender. Took a cheap shot. Second to last fight.
Did you and Mark do the circuit again, or is there?
We had some overlap. We didn't spend the entire summer chasing each other, but we made sure we had a couple lined up in the same venue.
Did you finish any classes you started?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm re-enrolling in the fall yet.
Well, we can't just flood this entire organization with a bunch of dropouts.
I don't know if I have time for both, so if I have to choose,
I think that's a good choice.
pays pretty good, and I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I keep up with school, I'm gonna be bored. Let's be honest, it's gonna be boring.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's been a long summer. I'm actually looking forward to winter. I'm maybe hoping to squeeze in a ski trip. Do you ski?
I've been once or twice. I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah, when you're this close, I suppose.
Can't say I'm great at it, but I've been.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Sorry, I almost called you Cornell.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's it's sad. How you holding up?
Well, it's sobering. My apartment isn't filled with empty bottles, if that's what you're asking.
I wasn't going to voice it, but good to know. I'm glad. It's not a good way to cope.
I took home an interesting token from that mission, though. Fleur. I have her spell book.
You putting it to use? Seems off brand for you. From what I know of have seen of your power.
I don't have the carte blanche she has to just unleash holy terror on city streets. Everything in her book just screams illegal, or at least noisy. I don't relish putting lightning out of my fingers, and she doesn't hold back on anything. Her entire book is about shouting and mania. There's only a few things in there I found that I could possibly fold into my repertoire without standing out as a sore thumb in society.
I mean, that's been a good use of your summer then, if that's what you've been going over.
Well, that and the library at the castle, I've been looking at other ways to kind of extend the way I work. I mean, I've fallen into some habits that are easy to lather, rinse, and repeat, if you get my meaning.
No, I understand that. I think we all have our routines that we fall in when shit hits the fan. I don't think it's a bad thing for us to be predictable to each other.
Right. And I made the mistake on that previous mission of trying to sew some of her spells into my portfolio. I'll rub my ribs where I took a bullet. I should have used force and been more blatant, that I was trying to be more subtle and try something new on mission, and I won't make that mistake again.
Glad to hear it. I mean, I'm glad you're feeling like you can be reliable as a team lead. I mean, that's important. Everybody under you is looking at you for direction.
It's still an uncomfortable position for me. I grew up in this organization being an operator and not the lead. Banny is so steady and calm and capable. It feels weird to have him riding second fiddle.
Yeah, but Bonnie's an old man at this point. This is a young man's game. Who else would it be if not for you?
I appreciate the vote of confidence, that I endeavor to make sure it's worthy.
I trust you. You'll be all right. You'll manage. And if not, Bonnie and I will pick up the pieces.
Much appreciated.
I kind of give her a little elbow.
Hey. We're getting
you're muted, John.
Muted.
You guys are moving in pairs.
Yes.
Yeah. So Blanca and Jojo on the same side as the man in the umbrella, and the other two on the opposite street, and we're just going to move, get closer. And I have to be within about 30 feet to do a proper detect magic. So at that point, I will stop and pull Jojo in close and mock some public amour while I get a glimpse of him.
Well, you're going to see some on the other side.
Yeah.
So the two of you that are planning to cross the street to be on the side of the umbrella person reach the corner, which would be the front of your destination, and you look to where he was standing. He's not there anymore. Those of you that are coming up the same sidewalk that the building is on, the first thing you notice is from the sidewalk on this side street, there are some concrete steps that descend probably to about shoulder level and head back into a corridor. Looks like maybe behind this building. And as you can see on your illustration, there's also a shoulder height depressed area running around the side of the building, held back with wrought iron railing. And there is another small stairway that accesses down there. A very subtle printed sign on the wrought iron says deliveries and points down the stairs.
Door open
You
or
reach
closed?
the corner to the front of the building, and you also see that the man with the umbrella is gone.
Was the door closed, I assume?
You look down there and you do see a closed door.
I pull out the tessimeter and push it to Mark's chest and say, "Can you look around real quick?"
Did you what?
The tessimeter. Do you know how to use this?
Yeah.
Look around, see if there's
sure.
anything. I flag across the street. Where's the guy? Sign language to Blanca.
I'll check. Sign language back. Detect magic in the vicinity he was, and if he's not visible, just keep moving till we're standing in the spot we saw him.
Okay. You
Keep
move
an
to
eye out.
that spot and you realize that there is an alley behind where he was standing that goes back between a couple of buildings. You're not detecting any magic, but a glance down the alley shows him about 50 feet down that alley, facing you, still with his umbrella open.
Perhaps it's time to disguise. I don't want him to think that we're following him. So at this point, we are just tourists taking in the view. If we have to make a roll or something, that's fine. I'm not going to use any magic here. Although I think, Jojo, do you have a test meter on you?
No, I think Mark's the only one that got one.
Okay. I'm not sure that this is the place to check. I just want to make sure what our assets are. See the man behind me in the alley?
Mm-hmm.
Is he looking at us?
Peer over her shoulder. Is he? Which direction is he facing?
He's looking straight at the two of you. His
He's
face is a
looking
bit in
right.
shadow because of the umbrella. It looks like the alley, you still get daylight. It's not direct sun, but probably from the second floor up is sun. So you've got shade, but not necessarily shadow. You can make him out just fine.
How far away is he from us?
50 feet.
55 maybe.
Oh, I should have put a message spell on one of the other two. Damn it. Getting in over my head already. Let's break line of sight with this guy. I don't want him to feel like he's followed. I think it's over here a half a block. Tug at your hand.
Oh, right. Yeah. Guide you further down.
Two of you move past the alley.
Sign language back to Benny once we're out of line of sight. He's down the alley. He was looking our direction. I'm going to try to get behind him. Why don't you guys cross the street and let's try to box him in.
Okay.
Look for a way to get to that alley. I know it's going to probably take a little bit of sprinting, but see if there's a way to come up behind it.
It looks like if you go to the cross street, the one that runs down the side of your target building, you could head down that way, away from Hudson and Brand, and you might find a back alley.
Turn to JoJo and let's hurry. Let's see if we can get around and cut him off from behind.
Do you want me to wait for you?
No, come with me. We're going. They're going to come up the other way.
Right. Do you want me to get there first and wait for you?
Fuck you.
The
right.
two of you.
Let's go.
Down the side street. Benny and Mark, what are you two doing?
I pushed the button.
You push the
Push
button.
See if we went any other color than green now that we're closer to the house.
What does he see?
Still just green.
Just green. Okay, put it away. He's down that alley over there. We're going to flush him out. They're going to move in. So let's move across the street, oblique to the alley so he doesn't see us, and we are just going to start trooping down. Okay?
He starts whistling.
I don't think we're going to be casual about this. We're going to move.
So the two of you are moving to the front of the alley that faces your target building.
We are going to walk back, go across a street outside of the site of the alley, and then we're going to basically march together straight down.
Down the alley?
Down the alley.
Okay. You start walking down the alley and you see him 50 feet away with his umbrella, still standing like a statue. The two of you hustle down. You find a back alley, so it looks like the alleys would notch this building away from the others, if that makes sense. Some dust bins, fire escapes. It's all fairly clean. Zurich is a clean city. You see the man with the umbrella is at the corner where the two alleys meet. And as you come up this way, you see he's facing to the left.
Oh.
Are you running toward him? Are you walking quickly? What's your
Once we're in line of sight with him, I will rein in JoJo so he doesn't sprint away from me, and move at a brisk pace. We'll call it, 2 out of 3 actions on movement.
So you move quickly up to him. How close do you want to get?
30 feet.
You move to within 30 feet of him. He doesn't seem to notice you, even though you're right there in the alley. Morik and Banny, he doesn't react as you approach him. How close are you going to get?
We're going to slow our pace. I don't know where the others are at, but I don't want to... I'll say 20 feet. Say good evening. Let's
He
call it.
cocks his head at you,
Shit.
licks his lips. Up close, this guy looks almost like a cadaver. He is gaunt, like super gaunt. And you see that his face is covered in what looks like open sores. His suit, the sleeves are too short, and his long hands just dangle out of them. He's got almost a grayish complexion. His hands have sores on them as well. And he doesn't look like he's looking directly at you. It's almost like he's looking past you.
Have you had a bite to eat?
He cocks his head, looks at you.
I don't think he's all here.
He's not alive. This looks... I mean, I would already guess this guy's at least a week old. Dead.
You hear Banny and Morik talking to this guy. He doesn't look like he's reacting.
What do you got, Blanca?
From the side alley, I will, with honeyed words, tell him to get on the ground and put his hands out with the suggestion spell.
And is that honeyed word a spell?
It is suggestion. His DC is a 20. Man, that's been all summer. I don't remember how good I am.
You should be like a 26,
good am
right?
26.
Was I right on that?
On the money.
Yep.
One moment. That was a command spell?
Suggestion. So 4th level spell. Enchantment, incapacitation, linguistic, and mental are its traits.
Okay.
And it's a
Sorry, I should have been better prepared. I didn't think you'd go up and talk to him.
We didn't either.
He looks dead.
Well, an umbrella.
Are you looking to see if this undead guy is susceptible to suggestion?
Yeah, I want to see if there's mental capacity there, and if we're dealing.
This is a will save, yes?
Correct.
Against your spell DC. What's your spell DC?
26.
He does not react, but he turns and looks at you.
I will stop at that distance, and with my arm around JoJo's, hold him at that distance too. Unless you want to proceed, but it's a suggested behavior. You don't have to comply. Benny, you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
He didn't.
I'm going to use the
respond-
testimeter too.
He didn't respond to a very strong suggestion.
Well, he's also quite dead.
He looks back at Banny. I'm dead?
Aren't you? You look dead.
Testimeter? Testimeter?
You're still in the green.
Okay.
Who are you?
I'm lost.
Yeah.
And he looks around. It's strange here.
Where are you from?
Home. And then he lifts a long, pale finger and points back up the alley toward the direction of Hudson and Brand. Home.
Hold back. I was ready to light him up.
I keep that thought. Keep that thought.
He says, I don't like it here.
How long have you been here?
What does that mean?
Do you want to go back home? I mean,
Yes.
you've been standing here looking at home. Why haven't you actually gone home?
I can't. But the
What?
door is open. He points again. The colors are wrong here. I feel strange. I'm less. And when I'm home, I'm more.
Do you have a name, friend?
Pestilence.
Okay. That's fitting.
And do you have? How are you on horseback?
I miss my horse.
That was a joke.
No, he didn't.
He doesn't look like a joke kind of guy.
No, no. Should we join up? Why don't you follow us to the street and tell us about home? You got us behind?
Yep, we're following.
Jojo and Blanca roll a perception.
24.
19.
Jojo, you're probably looking at him in the face, so you hear it but don't see it. Blanca, you see it and hear it. You see that from the hem of his black overcoat, about 4 feet of wet tentacle just drops onto the pavement and then sucks back up inside the overcoat. You definitely saw barbs coming out of that tentacle.
Benny,
It was wet,
Mark,
it was gray, about the thickness of a man's arm.
keep your distance. Something unsavory came out of his coat.
Well, he's pretty unsavory himself, so not
Let's
really.
just casually walk back this way to the house.
Do not close with him. Let's keep a comfortable distance.
Yep, 20 feet. Seems good.
That's fair. Yep. We moved into 20 feet, but no closer.
Yeah. We will guide him out to the edge of the street. And if we open the door for you, would you be able to go in?
I don't think so.
While this is happening, get that detect magic up and running that I was trying to get earlier.
You threw your detect magic and you're still not detecting anything about him. You know something's not right, but
He appears mundane from everything I can tell, but maybe further inspection will reveal something else.
I don't want to inspect him further, boss.
Yeah, Bonnie, why don't you go
he's
lift his
not
trench coat?
following you out to the street. He's still standing at that corner.
Oh, so we're just walking further away and saying,
Yeah. Well, as soon
Friend.
as... Oh, he stays at the corner? He doesn't follow us out?
He does not follow you.
Friend, please move that direction. Use the command spell to urge him.
Go. Get.
Get.
Busta.
Come on,
What's your number?
pestilence.
26.
He looks over at you. I don't want to.
Why not?
I'm afraid. And I've never been that before. Now he's just like looking up at the sky like he's never seen it before.
You know,
What are you afraid of?
Of being lost. But I am lost.
if we need
Dispel
to get
magic.
Roll them. Hang on, I'll give you a number that you're up against.
I'm not sure I want to know.
Yeah, just let her roll.
You may not.
It was magnificent.
Let's see if I can find it here.
Let's give Mr. Random a tour. It hasn't been kind to me in the past, though.
Mr. Random.
Sometimes you've done well with it.
Well, it is so absolutely random that it doesn't fall into any patterns. This guy is a pattern die for sure. 18s and 3s, that's what this one does.
At regular intervals. Well.
How did you roll?
Let me get that off the floor. Middle of the road, 26.
26. He looks over at you and cocks his head and says, "What are you doing?"
I just don't trust my eyes right now, and I wanted to make sure you are as you appear.
No.
Well, okay. Maybe I should have just asked. Pestilence,
He looks at you.
your interest in the house ahead, what is it?
What's a house?
Gesture down the direction he was looking previously. We saw you standing on the street corner, staring at a construct. It had your attention. Why?
I've been trying to go through the door.
Will you try again?
I cannot.
Perhaps we can assist you in attempting this door once more.
Can you remove the wards?
Show me the wards. Perhaps I can.
He starts to walk up the street toward the two of you.
As he
Follow him.
starts moving, I start moving. I'll grab Mark and let's keep some distance.
Well, you don't have to grab Mark. Mark is like right there,
As soon as
way back.
Yeah, as soon as he sees him moving. Okay, good.
Jojo, roll a perception.
Oh, geez. 21.
You about feel your heart stop because as the two of you follow him up the alleyway, you notice that the shadow that he casts on the brick wall to his left is about 12 feet high, horned and winged.
Where's Mark at?
There's no sign of an umbrella or a bowler or any of that. Mark and Danny are waiting up at the head of the alley.
20 feet in front of him.
I drop my voice. Blanca, do you have your pocket camera?
Mm-hmm.
Will you slide it to me real quick? I do a real quick, just glance at the viewfinder just to make sure I have it in general frame. I don't spend long and just snap a
Are you
picture.
trying to get him, the shadow, or both?
If I can fit both in where I'm at, great, but otherwise the shadow.
Roll a percentage.
44.
Remember for development that's going to be a good pick.
Oh my.
It helps to not be trying to shoot from a rolling car while you're driving away.
All right.
I closed the camera and hand it back to her. Did you see what I was taking a picture of there?
What? No. What?
Are we still in the alleyway? Is the shadow still there as we're walking and having this conversation?
Yeah.
I
Even as he gets close to the end of the alley, that shadow tracks his movements.
I kind of just do a nod towards the shadow.
You watch Blanca's eyes get big. I just rolled a natch.
So, Blanca, you also notice that it looks like from the shadow's back, an entire cluster of 10-foot long tentacles rise against that brick wall. And then as he reaches the street, it all returns to a man with a bowler and an umbrella.
Okay. We are clearly dealing with something way out of spec.
I'm sure I'm glad Morg doesn't know this. Anyway, so
Really?
there we are at the other side of the street.
You see a guy with a bowler and an umbrella, the gaunt guy with the bad skin walks right up to you.
No, he doesn't. 20 feet in front. Still 20 feet away from. Keep it coming.
Well, when he gets over to the other side, so which doors have you tried to open here?
He shakes his head.
I'm gonna walk up to the first. I point at Mark and say, "You want to check the basement, bottom entry?"
Mm-hmm.
We're treating him like a normal person. We have no idea what he looks like.
I mean, we know he's weird and the licking of the lips.
Yeah, he's really disconcerting.
I think he bet on one of my fights once. I'm going to go downstairs. All right.
So I look back at Blanca. I'm just going to try the front door. Is that fine?
Hey, we're already in the game. Let's just keep going.
Okay.
So Banny crosses the street and trots up the stairs toward the front door. And then, Mark, were you headed someplace?
Yeah, I was going down the steps towards the delivery side.
So on the left side of the building, you trot
Right.
down the steps to the single door that's marked delivery. And the two of you are still behind your new friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're back behind him, 20 feet.
So he's standing out on the sidewalk now.
So split him on the sidewalk. That sound all right?
So just like ease by him.
Yep.
Okay. Both of you need to roll a perception.
Ugh.
Your hair turns totally white.
26.
17.
The two of you, as you pass him, smell the most horrific odor that you've ever smelled in your lives. You didn't know something could smell that bad. You feel your gorge rising, and you feel your skin just crawl from the roots of your hair down to your feet with being uncomfortable. You hurry away from him.
Get some distance. Banny, Mark, I don't know how long we can stay close to this guy. I'm not. Do whatever you're doing to make it quick.
Well, what are we doing? I'm just trying to find a way in. This guy, I don't know what to say.
Get far enough away that I'm not retching.
It's about 20 feet.
Okay.
I'm glad I kept my distance.
Even Bjorn, after a terrible bender, never approached this level
Not even close.
of horror.
What is this place to you? Pestilence.
It's the way home. The way to my brothers.
How
Did I
you-
choose to come here?
1 second.
How did you get here? Did you come through that door?
I don't remember. I should remember. Yes?
Maybe.
Uh,
How's the
I-
old delivery door, John?
yeah, I'm gonna twiddle my
The old
door too.
delivery door is locked.
Is it though? let's put some Hulk into it.
Putting a little mark behind it.
Yeah, a
Go
little
ahead.
more behind it.
That's going to be a physical
Yeah, athletics.
athletics, I would imagine.
Yeah, he can give that door a full physical.
I don't think that I would ever have this result with any other individual. 37.
That door
might-
is not quite as strong as you expected. You blast it open. You leave the lock mechanism still sticking out of the housing. Now there's like a little half moon of fragmented splinters. The door thunders back and smacks against the wall on the inside, and you stumble 2 or 3 steps into what looks like about a 15 by 15 room. There is a door on the opposite side. Across from you, there are empty tables, empty shelves, and a huge pile of coal in a corner, complete
Of course,
with
delivery.
a small wheelbarrow and a shovel.
Furnace not nearby.
You do not see a furnace, no.
Oops. Yeah, just-
Oh.
Ah.
And up top, well, I hear that blistering sound as he blitzes through that door. I'm gonna reach out and touch the doorknob, see if it turns.
So your door, it's very nice. It's nicely carved. It does not have a window in it. You see that there's the lovely gold plate that says Hudson and Brand, Inquiry Agents of the Obscure, and a buzzer or a doorbell of some kind. And you have a large, elaborate brass lock plate and a depression thumb catch. You grab it, and it is locked.
I'm not gonna push the buzzer. I'm not. Does anybody have any skill in this?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna push the buzzer. It's locked. I'm gonna call out. Bzzzt.
I'm just going to do dramatic timing as Mark is trudging back up the steps, walking around the corner, looking a little sheepish.
You're coming back up the steps out onto the street.
Probably still holding the door. No,
Got a little bit of coal dust on your shoes.
the cold ass.
Surprised you didn't knock a corner of the building out with that roll.
37. Rolled an 18. His athletics is 19. It's insane.
Grog, mad.
Hulk mad. I'll just wait for that moment of appropriateness.
Andy, there is a mail slot.
There is a mail slot? Okay.
There is a mail slot.
I look in, peek through the mail slot.
You peek through the mail slot.
Lose 2 sanity.
Here's what you see directly opposite you. You see a highly polished hardwood floor. Keep in mind it's just a strip. What looks like a very nice wool rug, perhaps in a Persian pattern. It looks like the lights are on inside. You don't see any daylight in there, although you've seen windows on the building as you look at it. All you see is electric light in there, and it's fairly warm. And just to your right, at the edge of the slot, you see a skeleton standing on a stand. It looks like any med school skeleton complete with numbered bones.
Hmm.
And then directly opposite you, you see what looks like the edge of a large glass display case with spotlights identifying or shining on quite a number of curiosities. While the slot is open, you catch the aroma of pipe smoke, leather, cognac, and gas, natural gas.
Oh,
God.
I was gonna say it sounds like a candle, the perfect candle. Cognac, tobacco, natural gas, not so much.
And leather.
Smell of mahogany, teak,
Mahogany, teak,
natural
leather.
gas.
Mm-hmm. Say,
Introducing Hemingway Fragrance for Men.
yes, yes.
A lovely blend of paper, leather, and suicide.
It's rich.
Ennui, yeah.
But
It's
angry.
rich.
So angry. Is that leather burnt smelling?
I'm gonna see if I can sneak my hand in. Can I get my hand into that mail slot?
Not without tearing it up.
Okay. For hell's sake. I stand up and go, I can't open this.
And more comes trudging up, holding up a little piece of.
I don't think I want to
Doorknob.
do what you did down there either. If
Well,
you
the
could-
door's open. If you want to try to use it, I'm sorry.
Did you see any entrances to the upstairs? Any stairways?
Well, I wasn't going to go into what is an open door all by myself, but I saw what looked like coal drop off, and I'm sure it's going to lead into the furnace, and then you can probably make your way into the house from there.
Okay. We should go that route since I would rather open this nicely from the outside or inside.
Mark starts
well-
checking out the hinges.
Blanca and Jojo, he's staring across the street, just completely still. You have no desire to get any closer to him than you already have.
Blanca, can you see these words he was talking about?
Detect magic.
Are you doing it from this side of the street, or are you going to cross?
So on the same side of the street as the house, 20 feet away from pestilence.
Okay, so you cross the street. You do reach the other sidewalk because the lanes are 10 feet wide. You cast Detect Magic. The place lights up like a Yule tree. On the door, on the windows, you see a glow coming out from the upstairs windows, and it's powerful. And as you maintain your Detect Magic, you see glyphs that are so complex you've never even heard of how to create them.
Something's either being contained or we're being meant to stay out in a very persistent manner.
Can you tell that they are meant for us, or are they meant for an emotion over my shoulder?
Meanwhile, your heroic contractor, Banny Elkind, was futzing around with a door that has a massive glyph on it, and it didn't annihilate him.
He's pure of heart.
He's lucky
Or
as hell is what he is.
So do we see that Mark has come up from the sublevel?
Yeah, I came up to say
do.
it.
We heard the conversation about having opened a door.
Jojo, roll a perception.
22.
You must have been looking across the street when it happened, because when you look back, the guy with the bowler and the umbrella is gone.
Does anybody have eyes on our friend?
The three of you are all focused on the building. And as you look around, all you see are the normal pedestrians, a little bit of light traffic, a couple people on a bicycle, a mailman whistling as he walks up the sidewalk.
I know that song.
Breathe a sigh of relief. I don't see him anymore.
I don't love that.
Did he go back to the alley?
Are you going to run back over and check?
Well, Jojo's across the street still, right?
He is.
I can check that.
He probably did it when you put a message on him, no?
You look down the alley. Once more, he's 50 feet down at the corner, standing there staring at you. And you see that now that the light is hitting him, because now you know what to look for, that enormous winged shadow looks like it's also bristling with the kind of spiked armor that you would hear about in some nightmare fairy tale. It almost fills the alley. He's got to be 15 feet tall.
I called down the alleyway. I moved 10 feet down it, so he's 30, 40 feet away. Pestilence, are you planning on just waiting here for us while we investigate these wards for you? Just want to make sure we know where to find you.
I'll find you.
That's not creepy.
It's not what you want to hear.
Are you planning on exploring? I wouldn't want you to get more lost than you are.
No, he points home. I must return to the king.
Well, we're going to look at these wards and see if we can bring them down. Which king do you need to return to?
The king in yellow.
The king in
The
yellow.
king I serve.
Okay. I think we can help each other.
The king my brothers all serve.
Right. If we do have more questions for you, can we find you here in this alley while we try to bring these down for you?
He has like a look on his face like something's just occurred to him. And he says, would you care to enter into a contract for that information?
Oh, God.
I don't have any questions for you now, but I might. And I might be willing to sign a contract later.
You see
when
the
I have those
shadow
questions.
wings kind of. And it's really weird that you're looking at a guy with an umbrella and a bowler and seeing that behind him.
I just want to make sure I know where to find you if I do want to enter a contract.
If you wish to enter a contract, merely speak the words pestilence. I am ready to bargain, and I will find you.
Even if I'm in that structure behind the wards?
You must lower the wards, and
Well,
then
that's-
I will grant you a miracle.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that happens.
Yes, yes.
All right. I'm gonna go back over there, and we're gonna get to work.
Do you turn your back and walk out of the alley, or do you back out of the alley?
I do turn, but I'm, over my shoulder.
You get that weird, itchy, sniper's got me in his crosshairs kind of feel all the way out of the alley. It's icky all day long. Do you look back when you get to the street?
Once I'm back into full direct light of the street, I do turn and look to see if he's still there.
He is not.
Damn. All right. I check for any cross traffic and then jog across the street to rejoin the rest of the group.
Scoot across. The four of you are rejoined on the sidewalk.
He was there briefly. We talked for a moment. He's disappeared again. I kind of shrugged my shoulders a little bit, or had to a half shiver. I can't help but feel he's closer than he seems.
So
I would like
what
to
are we
get
dealing
into
with
this
here?
building before we talk any further.
Okay. So Mark opened the door downstairs, from what I could tell, from what I heard.
Oops. Well, and I showed.
We can try opening it from the inside, but what are we dealing with?
We don't know.
Let's get inside. I think JoJo has something to tell us that he can't explain out here.
Okay. Mark will lead down and around.
Mark leads you down to that below street level and into the broken door.
Yeah, he'll wedge it closed behind them, assuming they all file into the coal room, 15 foot.
Yep.
Also, there was the smell of natural gas. It smells like this place could light up if there's any spark. So we're
Is
going
the
to keep
furnace
that.
on?
I don't know.
I don't know yet. I didn't hear anything.
There's coal down here, right? But
There's coal, but it's summer. It shouldn't be on.
we'd hope so. Or hope not.
As we step through this doorway, Blanca, are there wards on this doorway as well?
Check to see if they're still intact.
The ward is still on the door, but more importantly, you see that the warding extends up the actual door frame across the top and down the other side, and then across the threshold.
So it's
Or
not,
kicked right through it with no ill effects that you're aware of, and the rest of you walked across with no worries.
these protections aren't against us. As far as
No, I think they are against creatures of the yellow, of Ember.
Oh, what? Oh shit! That guy's Ember Kingdom.
He made mention of a king in yellow.
Okay.
The door that was opened was to the yellow road, not to the middle Welkin. Is what I'm thinking.
Oh, That's
Changes
not good
things
either.
a bit.
Yeah, it
Actually-
does.
those of us who have the most experience in that aren't here to lend their expertise.
yeah, I know. You don't
Well,
have
what
to
do
go to
we-
war, Robin.
There is
What-
one window in here, a high up basement window covered in grime, just a little bit of sunlight coming through. And hanging from the center of the ceiling is a pull chain for a bare bulb.
Oh.
15 by 15 room.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With standard north, south, east, west, you came in from the west.
Dang.
And there is a door directly across from you in the east wall.
And here I put myself. Okay, I'm just going to change my north, south, east, west configuration, John. Okay, fine.
So bulb on a pull string. I think standard modus, detect magic before I touch anything.
The only thing glowing are the wards at the entrance, and you can see that there are wards on that grimy window as well.
The window is to the north or south of the door.
To the south, faces the below street walkway, and then the street beyond.
Mark points at the pull cord. It's okay.
Pull
Go ahead.
cord's in the middle of the room.
Go ahead.
You pull it, the bulb turns on, swings a little bit, throws some crazy shadows. You don't see anything unusual in here, just bare tables and shelves, pile of coal, a shovel, and a small wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow will be useful.
To
Yeah.
bring back your gold.
No, to take out the bodies.
Just don't be one of the bodies, Mark.
I
Mark,
don't
will
think I
you
can fit in this.
check that next door, see if it's locked?
It's an open doorway.
It's a closed door in a door.
Oh,
In a
okay.
door.
Check the door.
It's unlocked.
Open it up.
So picture about a room that's about 40 feet north-south. by 50 feet east-west and chop the coal room out of its lower left corner. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the southwest corner has the furnace.
That's the coal room.
That's the coal room. Oh, I see.
It's the best
Make
way I can
this-
describe it. It looks like a fat L.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. That works.
So there are some exits here. There are 2 doors in the north wall, a open corridor in the east at the top, and that's it. So let me give you what you see in here.
Maybe draw my map because I've already junked up where it sits.
Where's the furnace around here?
So 40 feet north-south, 50 feet east-west.
At some point, I want to see comparison between the 2 maps you guys are drawing.
Yeah, right.
Those are always fun.
We did like Bathory's dungeon. What was the one of them we did? No, there's a different one too. Anyways, yeah.
Bathory's
Comparing
Dungeon
notes.
is a total hodgepodge.
Yeah.
I think you guys just kind of gave up after a while. It's like, we're never getting out alive. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
exactly. F this. It's like Myst. This will take you to this area. That'll take you to that area. Something
So here's
horrible
what-
happens in this area.
Here's what you see in this large room. Perhaps.
Mayhaps to dream.
This looks like a rec room. There is a large billiard table, a green felt card table. You see darts on a wall and a large stand-up radio. Everything, all the wood is highly polished, well cared for. And in the center of the east wall is a fireplace. It is cold. There are lights on down here. One is from a stained glass shaded rectangle hung over the billiard table, and the other one is a lamp glowing on a side table near the card table.
Card table on the north side.
Card tables on the south, billiard roughly in the center, and there is also over by the fireplace what looks like a small wooden cocktail table and a couple of enormous overstuffed leather wingback chairs with the brass studs running down them. They look phenomenally comfortable. On that little table is a glass ashtray, what looks like a little wooden box, and a long stem pipe.
It's a nice
I
pipe.
was not expecting a parlor down here.
They call these the den. This is a
Any
den.
photos on the wall, paintings.
Let's see. You don't see any photos or paintings at all down here.
When did we get this telegram to come here?
It arrived at Habsburg this morning.
I'm gonna go over to that pipe and sniff it. Does it still smell stale?
It's probably been a few days or a couple days since it was lit.
Okay.
I am going to look for exits a way up. Is there a stairway in the?
Nothing yet seen.
Not that you see. You see a corridor and you see 2 doors in the north wall.
Any label? Any markers on the doors? Any labeling, gilding?
You don't see any labels on the doors, but the left-hand door has a red bulb jutting out of the wall above it, which is currently dark.
Dark. And is there any like kick plate or anything on either of the doors for like the wheelbarrow to be wheeling in and out and hitting it?
Not that you see.
I'm gonna be just flummoxed trying to figure out where the furnace is.
Yeah.
It got a
Mark's
fireplace. I don't.
fixated on the furnace.
There's no
Coal
furnace.
fireplace, maybe?
You could always use coal in a fireplace. It works. I
Is the
look at
building-
that. What's that?
Is the building electrified?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got lit lamps in here
And
right
they're
now.
lit.
Poultry.
They're still lit.
So this light reminds me of a film development studio or an on-air light.
Right. I'm gonna. Is there no? They're just like plain doors. There's nothing on it
No,
opening
but
or anything.
they're exceptional heavy wooden doors. Looks like they're cared for with white vinegar and polish, and the whole place smells and feels fairly upper class, but looks comfortable at the same time.
You can
My
actually
style.
live here.
My style.
Do you want me to try the door on the left?
So if we're going to go into the door with the light bulb, let's turn off all the lights first. Because if it is what I think it is, I would rather open up the door and not disturb what may be developing on the other side.
And did you bring a flashlight?
I will reach in there to see if I can click on a light. We also have a resident eyeball expert over here, Blanca.
Grab a billiard ball from one of the pockets if they're there.
That's your weapon.
Yep.
It's that sap.
The only other thing of note I forgot to mention is in the south wall are 2 more of those high basement windows that look out into the below street area, and those are both covered in black curtains. They are closed off. Annie, you're
My
stepping over to the door with the red bulb above it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blanca, do you want to keep eyes on?
Yep.
That's okay. You got line of sight?
Yep.
Let's click off the lights. If somebody could click off the lights.
Gotcha.
Turn off the lamp, you turn off the billiard lamp. Man, it gets dark in here in a hurry.
I mean, like, hopefully I have my hand on the knob before.
If you have the
It's
knob.
just their pull chains. Pull chain for the billiard, pull chain for the little lamp by the.
Okay, plenty of time.
So
So now that we're in complete darkness, so now I'm going to open a door into the darkness while we're in the darkness.
you pull it towards you. If it pulls towards you, if it goes in, push it in and step away.
Okay. Which way does it want to go, John?
It wants to go in. It wants to go in and to the left.
I want to push it in, John.
It's dark in there.
Don't go into the room.
I just opened it. That's all I
Yeah,
did.
push it in and step back.
You are immediately hit with strong chemical smells.
Move closer to the door. Use my low light vision to scope out the room.
What you have in that room is a space that is about 20 by 20. You see work tables. You see what looks like a couple of cabinets, some trays sitting side by side on one of the work tables. You see what looks like clotheslines running across the room in places with squares and rectangles hanging from them by clips. And at the far northeast corner of the room, you see a enclosed spiral staircase climbing,
Oh my.
made of
Interesting.
wood.
Is there a light switch in there that turns on the
There's
red
2 light
lamps?
switches.
Wait.
Well, I'm asking her.
Well,
Blanca.
your assumption is correct, Danny. It looks like a photo development room. There's a spiral staircase that climbs out of here. Looks like it goes up. There's a bunch of developed film.
Can we take a look at any of the negatives or developed just to see what they were photographing?
Yeah, let me check the lighting in here first. Are there any labels on the switches? Any color differences?
Your low light doesn't let you read in the dark.
Scheiße.
We
You also don't get color.
we
That's
may not.
that's previous
That's
versions.
dark vision.
You do in Pathfinder 2.
Oh,
You
do
get
you?
colors?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
I
And
can
you
see
the- You
colors.
see one of the light switches is red.
Oh,
For low light, dark vision, I think it might still be grayscale, but low vision is full color and everything.
is there enough light in here for me to use my low light vision? I guess is the real question.
It's really gloomy. There
If
are
it's-
no windows that you see in this room.
I don't want to ruin any
It's
film.
a cantrip.
I have a light spell on my dagger. but
Here,
I'm-
hold on. Before you do anything, if it's hanging, that means
It's
it's been
developed.
developed.
Right.
If there's anything that's exposed, any film that's on, in spools or anything like that, let's cover it up. But
Well, I'll flip the red switch and see if that associates with the bulb on the outside.
You flick the red switch, the bulb outside the room lights up, and the entire room lights up with red.
Yay.
Now you can all see.
Motion everybody in.
yeah, step in.
Mork looks up the staircase, doesn't advance up it, but just looks up.
You look up, you just see the curve headed up. The smell of natural gas comes down from the stairs.
This isn't good.
Nope. Somebody's been parking cows up there. It's a bad idea.
You almost killed Keith.
Best part is if they walk upstairs, you can't get them back down. They will not go downstairs. Anyway,
What is
Noted.
the nature of their photographs?
So there are 6 photographs. It looks like they were all taken in the same location. In one, you see a skinny kid, probably of some kind of Latin background. All he's wearing is a dirty strap t-shirt and shorts. He's barefoot. He looks like maybe he weighs 50 pounds, looks emaciated, and he is standing next to a cow. There are some huts in the background, and over the course of the photos, you can see the sequence as this child gets underneath the cow and lifts it above his head. And as he does that, you see that his head is tipped back and there's nothing but the whites of his eyes showing. Then that picture is taken from several angles.
this belongs in a freak show. Oh, okay, I've been there in almost the same. Never mind. I say we collect them and put them in a folder. I don't know if they've been set or however that process works.
I don't know. Felix were here, we'd know.
Yeah.
Oh, he just finished the development process. Are there any closed canisters of film?
There's a couple of cabinets. Are you inspecting them?
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at what else they have.
In one of the cabinets, you find a plethora of cameras. You find them small, you find them larger, you find telephoto lens, and you find a significant amount of canisters of film.
Labeled
Roll a d12.
D12. 11.
11 of them have a little masking tape label on them that says Spectro.
Are these used canisters or brand new?
Are you going to open them and find out?
Yeah, it's red light
We're-
in here.
yeah,
That's fine.
We're
I'll pull them open and look at the first, five photos on each to see if anything's on there or not, or if they're blank.
So you open one, stretch it out, and you see nothing, just the 5 frames you've just exposed. But it looks like those canisters in this area are unused film.
I'm gonna go ahead and load up some of the more compact cameras and hand them out to anyone who doesn't already have one. Blanca, do you need a spectro film, or are you good?
Let's make sure everybody has a portable camera and a roll of spectrolitho, and let's document this site.
Roger that.
Should we take these photos too? Take them.
I can just take them.
Fine. Mark, you pack those out.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anything
Mark
else
gets
we should?
the pictures.
Let's. It looks like we're clear at this point.
Detect magic. Make sure we didn't miss anything extra.
You did
You
not.
want to go up where the gas smell is stronger.
Let's check the other door first, I think, before we clear this place.
That's fair.
Should we just turn on the light now? Let it go? See what happens?
Boom!
Make a call, mission lead.
Let's save that. Let's check the other door first, and then we'll come back. I don't want to. If it does something that has a negative reaction, my curiosity is higher about the other door than what might happen.
Well, we can all leave the red light on, shut the door, turn on all the lights in here. We should be fine.
Mark goes first, taking that as a call to action to do something, and tries to open the next door.
Yeah, let's close the door to the dark room. We've still got a hallway and another door to check, so we'll come back here.
So Morik opens the second door. It is unlocked. It's dark. On the other side, you smell coal.
There's the coal store.
Do you have a lighter?
Shall I light it?
I go and I click on the other lights, the electric lights in this room after the development door is closed.
Back in the billiard room.
Yeah.
Mark, you also notice there's a light switch on the wall inside this space that you just opened into.
Okay. Look past the radio. There's an open doorway.
Do you turn on the light inside, or are you just the designated door opener?
I'm just the designated door opener.
You can turn on the light. We'll give you permission. Right, Blanca? I don't mean to.
Mark, we call that the bullet blocker.
I know what my job is.
You flick on the light. You see a room it's a space 10 feet wide. It goes 20 feet in and turns to the right. Directly ahead of you, you see a curving wall that looks like it's the backside of the staircase up in the upper left corner. And you see a large coal-fired furnace.
So there's a staircase here too?
Just the backside of it.
Just the wall, the back wall of it.
Got it. The curvature from the, okay.
I'm assuming that coal-fired furnace is not burning.
It is not. It is cold.
It is dark.
It's cold and dark.
And again, these are just bare bulbs hung on chains.
Just like your old basement at home.
That's right.
Good times. Okay, let's check the hallway. I'll walk down the hallway so the bullet blocker feels less used.
Banning the bullet blocker.
Moves Banny aside and takes in front to go down the hallway.
Okay.
So you're moving down the corridor from the billiard room, yes?
Right.
The Eastern Hall.
Okay. So that hall is 40 feet long. About midway along the south wall are 2 doors, about 10 feet and about at 30 feet. There is a door at the far end of the hall. And just before you reach that door on the north wall, there's another door.
Got it.
This hallway doesn't have any lights in it. So you're just catching the glow from the billiard room behind you.
The many lights.
Look back at Blanca. I can't read what's on these doors.
Well,
True.
let's fix that.
Do a perception, Banny. You were on point, yes?
Well, it was
Marek, but I'm right
Oh,
behind
Mark,
him.
I'm sorry. Mark, make your roll.
Those are pretty doors.
Well, even if you rolled a 2,
Okay, how did you know that?
You're very perceptive.
you see that the second southern door down that hallway is open.
Oh, open door.
Okay.
Second one down.
Grab a wall. Yeah. If Marek does that, I punch him, and it won't hurt him.
Right
But
in the neck.
yeah,
I roll a d4. How many knuckles did you break?
yeah.
Hey, that's
All
my line.
I know, I stole it. As the resident brick,
That's right.
go down the hallway.
So do you walk past the door and grab it, or do you actually stop before advancing, Marek?
At the edge of the open doorway, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to peer around the side.
So you're going to pass the closed door
Yes.
and move to the open door and peek on in.
Right.
There is lamplight on in here. It's a bedroom. And up close, you can see that the door has been kicked open. You see the imprint or the dusty imprint of a boot on the outside of the door. You see the wood fragments. Inside this bedroom, there is a lamp on what looks like a dresser. You see stuff, some kind of framed objects on the wall. You see items over on the dresser. There is a mirror. You also see that there is a pile of what looks like shredded clothing. There's a lot of blood across the floor, and there is a man's boot in the center of the blood with the unmistakable sight of an ankle with a snapped off bone sticking out of the boot.
Don't kick my door down.
Oh goodness.
I don't know if it's safe or not, but
Take a look around the corner where he's at.
I guess I'm waiting for a scan of the doorway from Blanca.
You know, I point at Blanca and I flag her point back, and I'm going to check the door that we had passed, listen at it, and just lightly knock on it. We're
You
here
listen, roll a perception.
Whew, that's nice. 33.
You don't hear anything.
Oh, okay. I say we're here to help.
And you
Just-
knocked, yes?
Yes, knocked and
There's
Be
no,
and friendly.
no reply.
okay.
Just open it, Danny.
What's that?
Just open it.
Oh, yeah, it is fine. But you should go look at the bloody boot in the other one.
What?
There's a boot here with an ankle still attached.
We may want to clear the open room before we open another. If there's somebody in this room, we were right.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know there was something over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Console Morik. He's beside himself.
Just,
Move up
maybe-
alongside and look into the bedroom.
You see it as I've described. The only other thing you notice is that there is a cold fireplace in the middle of the east wall.
East.
Does the
Oh,
room?
damn it, John. That's where I put the dresser.
Do a perception. Turn it into a fireplace.
Easy.
24.
What you see you see the shredded clothing, you see the bloody boot, the pool of blood. You also see that it looks like there's a stack of letters and maybe a diary sitting on the dresser. And prominently on the wall that you can't miss as soon as you walk in, looks like a large, very elegantly scripted diploma of some kind.
Page through the diary, kind of find the latest entries and work backwards.
You quickly get that this is a woman who's writing this. She speaks a great deal about her parents, the exciting work that she's doing here at the ERS, that she's been the duty officer numerous times. She does so wish that Elijah and especially Mr. Smythe would clean up after themselves. But they seem to be good enough chaps. It looks like she's great friends with a woman named Liza, whom everybody calls Doc. She speaks warmly about both Mr. Hudson and Mr. Brand and how excited she is to be able to put her degree to use. And the most thrilling parts of her time here are spent on investigations.
Reach into my shoulder bag, pull out a flashlight, and inspect the boot a little closer.
Do you have any kind of special tracking or anything like that?
Um,
You need Danny.
Yeah,
like survival, or
it'd be survival. Yeah.
Yeah, roll a survival. You're looking for a 28.
That's cute.
I rolled a 17. I got an 18.
Well, you are absolutely certain that there is still a foot inside that boot, and it's a man's boot.
If we pull the foot out, then we can verify.
No.
So I go over.
Is it
I'll
a man's
walk
boot
in
or a woman's boot?
while
It
she's
is a
looking.
man's boot.
While she's looking in the boot, I'm going to pick up the boot from the heel, and I'm going to walk over to the door and set the boot on the door. Does it match?
Oh, you're gonna tip it to check it against the.
Oh! I thought the door. Oh, it had been kicked in. It just
It's been
flopped.
kicked in.
I will
So
pick it. I will put it up against the door. Yeah, rotate
As
it
you
back.
tip the boot, blood pours out of.
I've given it plenty of distance. If it splatters on me, then well, it is what it is.
It's without a doubt the same print. This is probably the boot that kicked that door.
Check the document of graduation or whatever certificate is and see if that matches up with.
That is a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Zurich, awarded to one Grace Hornsby.
Oh,
Grace.
okay. I've stopped. Okay, this. Check the clothes. Are they man's clothes?
No. They look like a woman's clothes, but they are shredded.
She is not who she appears to be.
You mean you don't think somebody else tore them apart?
No. If this is her room, somebody assaulted her in her room. She tore them apart.
Women can't wear
I
men's
don't know.
boots.
Do you want me to pull out the foot real quick to verify that it's a
Are
woman's?
you looking for painted toes? Do you have a way to know?
Oh,
Could be
you
a
can.
woman with big feet.
Yes, with this.
Blanca, can you see if there's something of a ward on the door that could be something to attack?
I'll do a detect magic in response to that query.
You don't detect any magic. There are no exits from this room and no windows.
How deep is the room? Does it conform with the distance or the depth of the billiard room?
Yes.
Thank goodness, that's what I drew.
I I am going to. Okay, everybody, stop for a second. I want to look at tracks real quick. I want to look for footprints. I want to look for here. Can I borrow that flashlight? Thanks. I want to see what footprints are in this room right now, besides the ones that we've already. Oh, good God, 20. That is a survival check. Where are you, mouse?
You rolled a natch.
I rolled a natch, 35.
You're good for that before the combat starts.
Exactly.
Yes. He'll get you to the combat, and then you can die.
What you see are, without a doubt, there are bare footprints here. It looks like whoever lives here isn't. It looks like the maid's day off is every day, so she's not particularly clean. You do see a woman's footprints. They're quite scattered. It looks almost like somebody's been doing dance steps in here. You do see other men's footprints back when there were two boots next to each other, and then all of a sudden there weren't. And you also see what looks like if someone were to take a wet mop, and just poof on the floor. You see that marking, and then you see it again poof, over by the edge of her bed.
The bed to the back wall.
Let's see. Yeah, coming off the south wall.
Okay.
Look under the bed.
You immediately figure out what that marking is. It was wet hair, because there's a human head under the bed.
Like bounce, roll.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I click on the flashlight. Is it male or female?
Roll a d6.
How many heads?
Oh, 6. Goodness.
It's facing away from you, but it
Long
has
hair,
a man's haircut, you sexist pig.
So I will say that she has man feet and man haircut. So it's got to be a woman. I click it off. Oh,
Benny, you look a bit pale. What's under the bed?
nothing I want to see up close, but I think that's a man's head.
Can you reconstruct what happened here, Benny?
So it looks like somebody kicked the door in. There was a little bit of a scuffle. The woman turned into a bear and mauled the guy and tore him into shreds. And his head's over there and his boot's over there. I don't know where the rest of him is, but it might be
B-A-R-E or B-E-A-R feet?
Yes, bare
bear
feet.
feet.
B-A-R-E.
John, do we have this
B-A-R-E?
Allenberg?
Oh, okay. Bare feet. Oh my gosh. I'm like, where's Bjorn? We got the perfect woman for him right here.
What, did you roll a 1?
No. Yeah, on misunderstanding.
Bare feet. Bare feet.
Bare feet. Okay. Dainties, little dainties. Okay, her dainties are running around. I don't.
I did say female bare feet, and I was wondering how you were able to tell the difference.
Yeah, between
The padding, because the padding is all. No, sorry.
Were they in heels?
female bears. You know what? I reach over and I grab the back of the guy's hair, and I
You reach under and grab it.
pull it. I look at the
It's
base.
still a little damp.
Oh,
I
It's
look.
very disturbing.
You pull it out.
Yeah.
The
I
first thing you notice is this absolute look of terror frozen on his face. He looks like he's in his late 20s. And then you notice the neck. It doesn't look like it was cut off with a weapon. It doesn't look like it was bitten off. It looks almost cauterized around the edges.
Oh wow.
And it smells bad.
I put it. I said, anybody want to look at this? And I
No.
put it on the floor. I won't drop it because that thud. Oh, that thud.
Yeah.
No. So, whatever happened, his head was like burned around the edges, cauterized. So, I don't know what happened here. I thought that the bear was the bear, but no, it's not a bear. It's just a woman with some pretty mad skills. But look at the clothes. I hold up the clothes. Her clothes.
It looks like a sundress
Is it
and ladies' undergarments.
everything? Okay.
It's just completely torn apart. You can't really reconstruct. It's shredded.
Did it look like it was an expansion type of shredding, or was it a? Okay.
Can't really tell.
She's
But
not.
there's no blood in that clothing.
Yeah. Maybe somebody I'd date, but
She's a praying mantis. She ripped off his head.
ripped off his head, but she didn't mate with him.
Right.
That leg over there says something. Let's go investigate the other rooms. I'm gonna walk out into the hallway and look to the left to see if the bare footprints went a direction.
Roll it.
We haven't screwed up the environment too much.
Survivalness.
Oh my
As
gosh.
we leave, I'm gonna snap a quick picture of the head trying to get the face,
Okay.
just so we have record of it.
That's going to be a good pick.
Any windows up on the top in this room?
Negative.
We may want to grab some of those entries, journal entries or letters or something, just in case.
Yeah.
How was your tracking roll, Danny?
It was awful. It was
Looks like
a
all
60.
four of you, if there were tracks, you've all walked over them already.
Well, I was hoping that we hadn't advanced to the door down the far hall. If there was
It's right
any,
in front of us.
I will take a moment in the doorway as we leave the bedroom to cast on myself. I am going to spend an extra moment to hide the gesturing, but I'm putting a mage armor on myself just out of fear and paranoia.
Okay.
wonder why.
So, do I check the door here at the end of the hallway?
No, let's go
Or-
back and hit the other door. I think that this is where people stayed down here in the basement. I mean, fine.
So don't get the idea that we've got concrete walls and bare rafters. All these areas are finished.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Because, but they're
Walls
enclosed.
are nicely painted. The floors are polished, hardwood.
It's a good place to die in. It's good.
Wait,
High
no.
quality.
None of that talk. Don't want to hear any of it.
I meant them, not us.
Oh. Well, that guy seemed like he may have deserved it, but I don't know. I don't know, stood her up or she stood
So I'm going
him
to
up.
try the door that we first passed that was closed.
Yeah.
assuming.
It is unlocked.